Welcome to Inferior Gaming, where half the fun is being bad. I'm Alan.
I'm Caitlin.
Feel like I caught you eating or something.
No.
I don't know.
No.
Okay.
I just didn't know where to go after saying I'm Caitlin.
I got you. I was going to ask you what you're playing, but I want you to talk about what you've been beaten.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
The thing that I meant to bring up last week.
Yeah.
So I did finish Strange Antiquities, and it was a lot of fun. Highly recommend. There's a lot of very good puzzles, and there's a half good in-game hint system. It sometimes,
that's cool.
It sometimes doesn't know what you want to hint for, so it's just like, maybe do something. And I'm like, no, I am doing something, but I'm real stuck. And one day, I was doing this one puzzle, and I guess my brain just went somewhere else with it. And so I could, for the life of me, not figure out what I was supposed to do. And I literally just had to look it up, and then as soon as I looked it up, I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Why didn't I think of that? Anyways, it's very good. I do think I killed or cursed one of the recurring characters from the previous game, so that sucks.
Oh, no.
She's a nice old lady.
Just like crossover from the plant game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got her cursed. Made some other wrong decisions, so might just replay both games next year, see if I can have a happier, for me, outcome, because I was trying to, save the city, and I ended up cursing most of it and then becoming an evil priest for a cult at the end there. Yeah.
So when you looked up like hints, was it like try evil and that's what you did? Like,
I never need to be encouraged to try evil. No, no. You get to the end, and basically a dude came into the shop and was like, take the MacGuffin to this place, we gotta save the world. And then another dude came into the shop and was like, take the MacGuffin to this place, we gotta save the world. And I chose the wrong place, is basically what happened. Although, actually, I don't know what would have happened if I'd chosen the other place. But I figure probably not what happened.
So you knew these characters and had like
yes.
like a customer relationship kind of thing with them? It's not just random, is what I mean. It wasn't just like somebody...
it's not just randos came in. I had a reason for making my choice, or at least I thought I did, and I was wrong. I was wrong.
Oh, man. You misjudged him.
No, anything else I could say is big spoilers. So I don't want to say anything else, but yeah, I think I released some dark gods or something. I don't know.
It's hard to run a small business, like you never know how it's going to go.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not even running this one. You're like the apprentice and you're left in charge, so it's real hard.
It's like that Fantasia thing with Mickey Mouse with the brooms and everything. Yeah. Okay. Well, what else have you been playing then?
Obviously, Animal Crossing. This is going to come out weeks later, but literally 3 days ago, Nintendo told us they lied to us previously, 4 years ago, and released the trailer for the upcoming 3.0 Animal Crossing New Horizons update, which is wild. It's so wild.
It's free, right? It's not like extra. You're gonna like a whole nother, like a vacation home or something like that.
Yeah,
or
like a hotel where as some of the animals that aren't on your island can come and visit.
Crazy.
And I guess some of the NPCs too. It's so when they released the trailer for the 2.0 update back in 2021, at the end of the section about the free update, because that one also had a DLC that you could pay for, there was like this line where the narrator, the same woman who's narrating the current trailer, said, this is the final large free update for this game. You know, after this, we are done with this game. And for 4 years, that was indeed the case.
It makes me wonder if they're working on another one or if they're just like, put it into this.
But it makes me think, this is the thing. Like, I'm happy for this. We're going to have fun, me and my Animal Crossing friends. It was wild. Like, I woke up one morning and my friend in Australia, who obviously was kind of at the end of her day, had put the trailer in our Discord and was like, was anybody expecting this or is this out of nowhere? and then we were all talking about it for a while. Like before this, I genuinely would have expected an announcement at least for a new Animal Crossing within a year. But now it feels like it could be 3 years, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I do not like that.
I feel like Nintendo is not the kind of company who is like, oh, here's what we're working on. It's probably going to come out in 2 years. I feel like they just do this kind of thing. And they're like, in 4 months, this game that no one knew we were making is about to come out. And it's
I think they used to be the other way around, and they found that it didn't work out that well for them. So they've changed. They do keep things under wraps a lot longer now. Yeah. That's the impression I've got from the games that I pay attention to. It might be different in other genres.
I'll say I don't pay attention to Nintendo like I used to though either, because I don't use the Switch. So.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so this is wild and weird, and there's so many things in this game that like fans wanted at the beginning. So, you know, 6 years later, they're going to give it to us. It's so strange. It's so strange.
But maybe there's a bunch of people, I don't know, who are getting a Switch 2 and the game will work on there. And so
Yeah. And they're releasing a hard copy, a Switch 2 hard copy. And which I was not going to buy, and I'm still not because I own the Switch 1 copy. So why would I spend another $80 Canadian?
Yeah.
Probably 90, honestly. But somebody else did point out that on that hard copy probably has all the updates, where on the Switch 1 copy, all the updates are digital downloads. Mm-hmm. So that's an interesting thought. Maybe if I find it on sale sometime, like secondhand, I might pick it up just to have all of it in the hard copy.
For the apocalypse. You have to hand crank your
For the
Switch.
gaming apocalypse. Maybe this is Horseman too. Like, jeez. Nintendo literally lied to us. Like, straight up, they said no more updates. And then 4 years later, they're like, new update.
So you've been playing Animal Crossing?
Yes.
Mostly?
Some friends came over to my house on Halloween, and we played the Halloween event together.
Oh, that's fun.
Which was a lot of fun. Yeah. That's what I like most about Animal Crossing, when you do the events together. Oh, and also the most important update, just in case somebody listening didn't notice, the shuffle, the terraforming shuffle. It's going to be a game changer. I don't even know how to describe this if you've never played, but basically, if you're creating a cliff or a river, or destroying a cliff or a river in the game, you're facing a spot and you hit build. And then if you want to build right next to it, you got to like move your character over, reposition, make sure you're facing the right way, and build again. And it's really easy to mess up and immediately destroy what you just built. But you can very clearly see in this trailer that people are like building a cliff, and then their little dude is just immediately shuffling over into the right position to build the next one.
Oh, okay.
This is huge. This is like, the most annoying part of that game is how often you accidentally just hit down what you just built up.
I also heard there's like crafting straight from the inventory too.
Yes. It wasn't in the trailer, but it is in like the official notes somewhere, that you don't have to carry around your storage shed with you anymore because you pull straight from your inventory. Thank you.
Right.
Anyways, I'm sure I'll talk about this a lot more in January.
When it happens, yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll record an episode and people will hear about it a month later.
In March or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But wow, it's exciting. I'm excited.
Well, the other day I tried to play Lost Soul Aside and it wouldn't let me because it was like, there's an update. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'll just putter around on the PS5 dashboard for 5 minutes while it installs and everything. And then I look back at it and it's still going. And it took like 20 minutes. So it was a huge patch that like fixed a lot of things that were wrong with the game, especially in the end part of the game, which was like bricking people's playthrough and stuff. And I didn't even know about this. So I've taken forever to play this game, but I beat it. And I guess I'm glad that I waited for the update because I was able to do it with no problem. So I did beat the game. The Emperor stabbed me in the back. I never saw it coming.
The evil guy that you...
Right. With the giant
evilest
head.
Looking guy. Yeah.
They did do a good job of like, he has like a lieutenant or like the chief general or whatever, who's like your rival from the beginning of the game. And that guy becomes like your friend and you team up against him. And, he like, respects you as a warrior, and you're like not sure if he's going to betray you, but he's just like can't believe that the Emperor stabbed you in the back like that after he said he wouldn't, and so he like joins your side. So that was kind of cool. And yeah, the story was okay. Like everything about the game is okay, and I beat it, and I'm glad I beat it. It was good game.
Good. Do you recommend it? Do you specifically recommend it to me?
I don't think so. It's some of the characters, like the longer I went, I was like, oh, these characters are all right. Like I was really worried that it felt like a harem situation at first, but mostly it's just like almost all the characters are women, and I was like, oh god, they're all going to be in love with them, right. And they're all going to be dumb. And really only one of them is interested in him, and that romance kind of works for me. And they're on like an equal power level. She joins a lot of the fights that you're in, and she kicks ass. She's really cool. And she has like you have to like retake her kingdom. That's part of the end game from the bad guy. And like her dad is like who's the guy in Lord of the Rings that Wormtongue like hypnotizes him?
Yep.
He's like that. He's like, like hypnotized, and you fight him and unhypnotize him, and then she's like, thanks, my dad's back. You saved him. I don't know. Like all that stuff was really, really good. And at the end, they don't like, I don't want to spoil it, I guess, but it's not like, I don't know, like they just fall in love or whatever. She's like, I got shit to do. And he's like, I got shit to do. And it seems like they could make more story out of that. I don't know. So that was, I don't know. It was all okay. It feels longer than it was, is what I would say about it. Like the more I played it, like it was like 28 hours, which is not long for a video game, but I really felt every hour of the 28 hours is what I would say.
Okay.
The fighting in Final Fantasy 16 was way more fun than in this. And it has a lot in common, I think, with that. Or it wants to. It's like you turn into giant monsters sometimes, and that's way better in Final Fantasy 16 than it was in this. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
But you finished. That's nice.
Yeah. I think the game should be like if it was like $20 or $25, I think that's fair for that game.
Okay. But that's good to know.
I didn't pay anything, Well, I guess I did because my wife bought it and we have a bank account that we share. So I don't know, but I would never have bought it.
You weren't the one choosing to spend the money, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. I would feel bad if I bought it right when it came out at full price. I'd be like, oh, I should have waited for this to be on sale. It was cool though.
Yeah. It always feels good to finish a game.
Yeah. I'm real big on beating games. I try not to, anything that I start, I try to finish because it feels better. And I feel like I understand it.
Yeah.
If I just get out, then I'll be like, I never really understood what they were trying to do.
I'm like that with books, but I'm not like that with video games.
I don't know if it's healthy, but it's what I do. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is.
Yep.
I should mention, I did play some more Final Fantasy Tactics. Not too much, but some. And I got to the end of chapter 1 and like the flashback kind of stuff. So now we're caught up.
That was all really confusing to me the first time I played it. I was like, wait, that was all in the past? Okay, so now we're here. So what happened with my friend?
Yeah,
He
like I
kidnapped
don't
who?
even. It doesn't even feel like it was that long ago in the past because like nothing has happened in the
Right.
interim. I don't know, other than the main dude. Man, his name
Ramza?
Ramza. He's left his family, I guess,
Yeah.
in protest.
And then the commoner kid. I don't know what they.
Delita.
I always call him Delisha.
Oh, Delita.
Delita. Okay. Yeah.
But like
He's an
with an
interesting
English
character.
accent, so it sounds better.
Okay. I'll have to listen to that. He always reminded me of Riku from Kingdom Hearts. He's like on that dark path a little bit.
Yes, but like that's just a common, I feel,
Yes.
Final Fantasy thing.
100%.
Although now that I say that, I can't really think of another one.
Is like, yeah, you haven't played 4, but there's that whole relationship.
Oh yes, yeah, I know what you're
100%
talking about there. Yeah,
4.
4. And I guess to a lesser degree, something like the red-haired guy in 9.
Oh yeah, Amaranth. or
Yeah,
whatever.
but he's like way less important to the plot.
Yeah.
Almost inconsequential to the plot. All right,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
this week,
you
Alan has
barely
forced
started.
me to talk about something that I struggled with.
Okay.
You knew this.
I knew. Yeah.
I stressed over it.
I'm sorry.
I had a different idea at first, and then I was like, no, I can't talk about this game. I remembered nothing about it.
You'd have to replay it.
Yeah,
You'd be
and
like, is
I
this
don't
true?
even know how to replay it anymore.
Yeah, so the idea that I wanted to talk about, I mean, kind of, I just wanted to talk about the game that I wanted to talk about, but I just felt like some games slipped through the cracks in the gaming culture and that it would be worth, an episode just to talk about a couple of games that we think are worth people's time if they wanted to go back to those, the things that are like underrepresented or maybe people don't even know about them because it just like slipped past you.
Sure. But like, okay, so Alan said underrated games or underappreciated games or whatever. And he chose one from the PS1 era. And I was like, okay, there's got to be an older game that I have played that is underrated. And my first thought was Eternal Sonata, which is a game that I played. It's an RPG. It's a JRPG, I think. But when I looked it up, I was like, I remember none of this. I don't know who these people are. I don't remember if I liked it. I have good feelings when I think about it, but I remember nothing about that game. So it obviously did not stick with me. I just know that I
also
played it.
played that game,
Yeah.
but I don't remember anything about it either.
I was like in band in high school, so I was a big band geek. So I liked that it was that music was a part of the like system, but I don't remember anything about it.
I think a famous composer is literally a character like Mozart's in the game.
I think that's who you play as. It's not Mozart. It's
right. It's somebody like that though, right? It's like some classical.
It's on the tip of my tongue. It's Chopin. It came to me before I read it. I just want everyone to know. I Googled it and then I was like, no, it's Chopin. I got it. But so I couldn't talk about that one because I would have literally nothing to say other than the music thing is a cool idea. And then you knew that I was struggling. So you were like, you talk about games I've never heard of all the time. And I'm like, no, 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 no. Within the like sim, life sim, farm sim, whatever community, I am the most basic of bitches. I only play the popular
in
things.
the mainstream.
Yeah. Just because you don't play that genre, it's different. I remembered a game that I played earlier this year. I very nearly 100%ed it, but missed something in chapter 1. But I don't know, whatever. And
that sucks.
I know. But like I cleared out all my side quests, so I don't know how I missed it. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Avowed. I'm talking about Avowed by Obsidian. And I loved this game, and I know it got a lot of, not hate, but like people going into it with the wrong idea about what it was going to be. I think people saw like a trailer or saw some footage and thought it kind of looked like Skyrim and thought it was going to be like Skyrim, and it was super duper not like Skyrim.
I definitely, when I saw it, I was like, this looks like an Elder Scrolls game.
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly. It is not, though. Not in any way, shape, or form. No, no, no,
Interesting.
no. It has kind of that look to it, but other than that, no.
Okay. Because it's part of a series, right? And it's like...
It's sort of like a side quest as a whole game. So in Pillars of Eternity and Pillars of Eternity 2, you play the same character. You play the Watcher from... Oh, I don't remember the name of your keep. Whatever. You play the Watcher. And a Watcher in this world is somebody who can read souls. So within the world of Pillars of Eternity Avowed, the world is called Aora. So within Aora, reincarnation is 100% a thing. Like it's not a belief, it is a fact. So all souls go through the wheel, or whatever they call it. And somebody who's a Watcher can see other people's past lives.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
So something happens at the beginning of Pillars of Eternity 1 and you become a Watcher. Some other stuff happens and you think maybe you're going to eventually go kind of mad with all these things, all this information bombarding you. And so part of your motivation is figuring out how to fix that. And then you get involved in some stuff with the gods. And again, the gods in this world are 100% a fact. They're literally, one was just killed.
Okay.
which is also part of the plot. There's like some problems going on there. And the lore in these worlds are so good. I love the story with the gods and how you find out some stuff about them. And I love how like they treat the soul as a fact. So because it is. Because if reincarnation is a thing, then your soul is 100% a thing. And so they have this whole like scientific arm, I guess, that is into researching souls and what you can do with them and how you can affect them, which is so accurate to what would happen, you know?
Yeah, that's cool. It's kind of like, yeah, so that would be how magic would work, I guess, right? Is through that research?
I think sometimes you can just cast fire, you know? Like there are just wizards. And I don't remember off the top of my head if there's like an explanation for that. I know some of them are like in worship to the gods.
Oh, okay. So it's like a boon or something, yeah.
Or they do it for the gods, not necessarily from the gods. It's kind of complicated to talk about that any further without getting into some deep spoilers.
Okay.
Anyways, so some real scary stuff went down at the end of Pillars of Eternity 2. And then when Avowed starts, you're not playing the Watcher. You're somebody new, and you're in a completely different part of the world, and it's like 10 or 20 years after that, I think. Or maybe even just, maybe less than that. Maybe just like a couple years after that. So the big thing that happened at Pillars of Eternity 2 at the end hasn't really... nobody's really noticed it yet, let's say. But you as the player, if you've played the previous games, you know that, and you know all this lore from the other two going in, but the person you're playing as and the people you're talking to don't know all that lore. So it's super interesting to go in and just see what you discover and how it all kind of fits together in your mind and stuff. It's really interesting.
That seems like a good entry point for somebody who didn't play the other games too.
Oh,
right?
100%.
Like,
You can absolutely play this without playing the first two games. And like you won't have that feeling to it unless like you can look up all the lore in videos. The first two games are CRPGs that are extremely long, and the battle is extremely like it's real time with pause. So it's not necessarily hard, but it's not everybody's cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be hard if you're not into crowd control.
Like with a party, you have like a group.
Yes, there's 6 of you in the first one.
Key off like, okay, now this person, now this person, now this person. And
yeah, and
like
they'll
that.
keep doing something. Like if you just tell them to aim at somebody, they'll keep doing something.
Right.
If you're not managing, but it's your life is going to turn out better if you're managing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, because I thought it looked different than because like Avowed to me, like I said, it looks like an Elder Scrolls game.
Yes, I will say.
I've
it
never looks like
played,
you're
I'm so
first
sorry.
person or something.
It can be third person, obviously. I would
Yeah.
never play first person.
Okay.
I would almost never play first person. And third person was fine. Like, some people talked about weird animatics and blah, 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 but, like, video games are not realistic. Like, what? I don't understand. That's just, like, shit I do not care about at all. You know? Like, if I can fight evil with a key, I'm not... I'm
The
just not
wings on
worried
this
about...
lizard person just don't look lifelike to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, shut up.
I don't
It's
know.
okay.
Some people, like, I know in Obsidian's most recent game, Outer Worlds 2, people are like, this stealth animatic looks so stupid. And I'm like, what do you want it to be? Please tell me. You know what looks stupid to me? Anything in first person. Why can you see your hands off? Like, it's so dumb. Anyways, this is just not something I care about at all. And I was sort of trying to reorient myself with a couple things. So I was watching a couple of videos this morning, and I saw someone, one of the reasons they didn't like the game was because there was no, like, real world consequences. Like, you could get your sword out and attack a person, but, like, it would just go right through them. The game just wouldn't let you do it, basically.
Oh.
Right?
I think that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's fine too.
Yeah, it's just telling you not to do that. Like, it's like we're not doing that.
Yeah,
in this game.
and then like you could walk through fire and you wouldn't catch fire, like a fireplace type thing, like, you know. And again, don't go in expecting Skyrim. That's, you know, like, this is a plot based. It looks like an open world, do whatever you want, but it is actually quite linear. That's the thing. You got to finish everything in one section, and then you can move to another section, and then you finish everything there, and it's not open world. It's just a really big area. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense.
No, that totally makes sense. Yeah. I think those design choices are good too, because they don't, like, it's not like, so there's another game. I don't know if you ever played Fable.
I did not, but I know about it. And I have the anniversary in my Steam so I want to. I just haven't.
It's fun, but it does take into account stuff like that, and that's part of the fun of the game. Is like you take off all your clothes and you go to the town green, and people are like, "You're loony. What's wrong with you?" And people point at you and laugh. But that is kind of the mechanic of the game, and that is what the game is doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And so to not acknowledge it, you'd be like, well, it's not realistic, but it's also like not doing that. So that actually makes sense as a design choice. I think that's actually good.
And I don't know. I think if you want realism, go outside. Like, I get that there's no magic and swords fire, see how that goes. But like, that's just not something I personally care about in my games.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you go in not expecting that, you'll have a better time. Mm-hmm. So in this game, you play as a godlike, which in the world is somebody who, when they were, like, in the womb, were blessed or picked out by a god. And so you
okay.
are born with a physical difference. Like people can see it on you that you are a god. Like it depends what god. So you'll look
Interesting.
different in accordance with whatever god picked you or whatever. But you don't know what god picked you. You don't look like anybody else. And you can choose when you're in character creation. You can choose what godlike feature you have, and there are some crazy ones. It's great. It's a lot of fun.
Huh. Does that affect the plot? To be like,
People will mention it, will comment on how weird you look,
okay.
but like you can turn it off also, because some of them are pretty wild. So, but you can make it so that you, the player, don't see it. But
I see. Yeah.
But people will still mention it because canonically you look weird.
Right. Okay.
Or different from everybody else, I guess. There also just aren't godlikes anymore. They've kind of been disappearing because of some stuff that happened in Pillars of Eternity 2. So you are like the only one. And, well, actually, technically, you meet one other on a side quest. Oh, that I remember. I think it was just that one guy, though. But anyways, so you are like an ambassador, I think, or something, for the Adirian Empire, which are basically like the bad guys.
Huh.
Or like they're an empire that wants to expand, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, they're an empire. So
yeah. And you are like you know the emperor, and he has sent you to this crazy ass place called the Living Lands to figure out what's going on there, because they're trying to set up a colony.
Oh, okay. Okay. And is it like somebody's territory, or they're just like, it's up for grabs and we're putting a foothold in?
Well, it's become kind of like people who want to get away from society.
Yep. Libertarian place. Yeah.
Well, there's different, because you're going to these 4 different sections, I guess, there's different areas. Like the first one you start off, there's obviously like a city that runs pretty well. But then in some of the other places, there's like, well, this was obviously started by pirates, type of thing. So it depends on what area you're in, but it is very obviously just people who 100% did not want to be a part of the empire,
Mm-hmm.
or any of the various governments around. They just wanted to do their own thing, and now with the empire there, people are upset.
I guess I just mentioned the libertarian thing because the Obsidian games that I've played, it's often in the background, and I think it's often in the background of video games anyway, because there's like there's kind of like, at least from Western developers or American developers, there's just this idea of like, you go off into a place and like post-apocalyptic or
right.
whatever. It's like everybody's out for themselves, and you're in a place where like you could just take all the resources, and other people's societies either don't exist or don't matter compared to like whatever your gamer agenda is.
Right. Okay. It's not like that.
Rife. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not like that. Mostly it is. Well, it depends, because there's a lot of really good choices in this game, and you can go full on, I'm here for the Empire is my god, or whatever. But you can also be like, oh no, these people just want to exist in their cities, they want to govern themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it is they just want to be their own communities, like they have been. So it's not like what you were just saying.
That's cool. Yeah, that's good.
But like I just said, there are some really good choices in this game. Most of the there's the 4 areas, which means there's like 4 chapters in the game, and most of the chapters end with like you needing to make a choice about how that area is going to exist going into the future. And some of them are real tough, and there's not a great answer.
That's good too. I like that. Yeah, it's complicated, and especially because you're like dealing with an empire. Yeah, so that's good.
And sometimes, because if you go in knowing the previous lore, sometimes things just make you angry because somebody's lying to you. But the character you're playing as and the people around you don't necessarily, they absolutely do not know that lore. So that's kind of maddening, actually.
Oh, that's cool. So there's dramatic irony if you're a veteran.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And like, yeah, and the things that you discover and everything mean, again, it would be fun and interesting if you did not know any of the previous lore. So don't let me deter you if you haven't played the previous games. But it is way more interesting if you do know the lore. Because it's like world shaking, like could change some stuff that happened at the end of Pillars of Eternity 2, or help it or something. Like, God, I hope they make more in this world because I really want to know what's going to happen.
There's been and it was like a big time gap in real world, right? Between 2 and Avowed. So maybe not. I don't know. I can't remember. I think it was like 8 years or something like that.
I don't even know what a big time gap in video games is anymore. I think
it's true.
Original came out in 2016. So 2 would have come out. Oh, I'm wrong. 2012. Or at least that's when they started their Kickstarter for it. Oh, so maybe, yeah, okay. Yeah, 2015 it came out. Pillars of Eternity 2 was, 2018. So yeah, it has been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Avowed was in 2025. Although apparently they announced Avowed in 2020. I'm just on the Wikipedia page here. So I'm not looking at the sources, so who knows. Oh, and the battle is really fun. I really like it. I don't like the kind of like sword fighting in these types of games. I think it's stupid and dumb and terrible. But you know, that like Skyrim, I'm just swinging my sword. I am doing nothing cool.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
I do know what you mean. Yeah.
Sometimes
that was
I blow.
That was part of why I got out.
Yeah.
Because,
or this game definitely has that, but the magic is really good. And any of the distance fighting, there's guns and there's bow and arrows. I like that, and the magic is a lot of fun. And there's cool like environmental puzzles that you gotta do.
And you don't have a party, right? It's
you do,
just you?
yeah. No. You have a party.
Okay.
You have like 4 people, but you can only equip 2 at a time. I think you do have like friendship relationships with them that you get to know them more over time, and you do like missions for their hang-ups. Or whatever. Like one of them obviously lost someone important to him recently, and you do sort of explore all of that and what actually happened and find out some stuff and that sort of thing.
That's cool.
Yeah. It
they
is
fight
good.
with you and stuff? Like in the world they do stuff? Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
They do stuff. You can't
It's like Final Fantasy 15 or something where
I think
like
it is
Noctis.
more like that. Yeah.
That's fine. I mean, as long as you you give them gear and upgrade them, I guess.
They weren't 100% useless.
Right, yeah.
Like in some games. They weren't Donald Duck.
The greatest black mage in Square Enix history.
That's such a weird sentence. To be like true, like
it is true.
They're not Donald Duck, and then but it's fun, and I think folks should give it a chance. There is no romance. Well, there is extremely minuscule romance. Obsidian hates putting romance in their games. I don't know about hate, but I don't understand. Like if you don't want to play a romance, you can choose not to do it. So it makes more sense to have it for those who want it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't know. But I will say if you choose the right things, you can kind of have one singular moment with the character that is played by Garrus.
Oh, same voice actor?
Same voice actor as Garrus, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I think it comes up in like your ending cards.
Mm-hmm.
But that's it. And I really want to downplay. I really want to downplay it.
The romance.
It's not that. It's really just you finish his quest, and then you can kind of say, what about me or something. I don't, you can kind of say, maybe I like you, and he'll be like, oh, okay, and that's about it.
They did the sequel to the BioWare game, Knights of the Old Republic, which has romance in it because it's a BioWare game. All the romance felt really, really bad in that game. It was like the least romantic romance stuff. It just felt bad, and maybe that's good for that world because you're playing a Jedi character, and so maybe romance should not be good for a Jedi, I guess. I don't know. But I felt like it was their fault and not a story thing. So
it doesn't seem to be their thing. There's none in Outer Worlds. There's none in the first Pillars of Eternity. It is there in the second Pillars of Eternity. But that felt like people forced them into it,
Mm-hmm. From what I saw of it, it looks amazing. Like it, very colorful and
yes. The thing with the
smooth.
Living Lands is that it seems to be being taken over by like spores and fungi and all that type of stuff, and so there's just this like explosion of colors, and like the opposite of Skyrim. There's no gray or very little. There's very little gray.
That's good. Yeah,
it's very pretty. And almost always there's a chest behind a waterfall. You know what I mean? Like just running around, you find a lot of stuff. It's fun.
That's what you have to do that. If there's a waterfall, there should be a secret there.
Yeah.
I remember, when you played it earlier this year, you were telling me about it, and I was like, oh, I should check it out. But I always just stay on the track of whatever I'm trying to beat, so I'm so easily deviated. But it is out there. I mean, if anybody has Game Pass anymore, it's so fucking expensive now. But since Microsoft owns this, they put it out there where if you have their service, you can just play it, which is, for me, the things that come out on Game Pass, I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'll get to that. And then I feel like I never get to it because, you know what I mean? Like, maybe that hurt the game somehow to be on Game Pass when you think it would help. At the same time, I played Expedition 33, which was on Game Pass.
I played that on, I played that on Game Pass too, and I am one of, the minis that canceled Game Pass recently. So I will have to buy it when DLC comes out, which is fine. I might buy it on PS5 just to own it physically. But hopefully they come out with like a Game of the Year edition. All the physical stuff. I'm not saying that they're 100% going to win Game of the Year.
It'll be somebody's Game of the Year.
Well, yeah, you know what I mean, though. But like that type of thing where you just get the game and all the DLC, and then I'll buy that.
Yeah. Yeah, but this game, I don't know, it just kind of flew under the radar this year, and it feels like as big a game as you could make. Like, it has a huge world, and it looks beautiful, and it, has all these features that you're talking about and tied into a franchise that's been around for more than a decade. And so it's just weird that I don't see people talking about it. So I think it's good.
And I think I think it's good if you go in with proper expectations.
Yeah, I think that really hurt this game. Like, I talked about Lost Soul Aside, and I feel like that game also suffered from that because they, made that game for like over a decade, and people just built up all these ideas about it that had nothing to do with what they were trying to accomplish or were able to accomplish, and then you just get mad about the gap between what you think it should be and what it is, and it's like, just try to experience what it is,
Yeah. And my only expectation was that it was only going to be first person, and I was upset because I love Pillars of Eternity in that world. And then somebody was like, no, you can play in third person. And I was like, fuck yes, I'm in.
So when you design your guy, you can see what she looks like and stuff. And yeah.
All the cutscenes are first person still, which sucks because I'm like immediately motion sick.
Yeah. That feels very Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
That's
but,
like how they do it.
But it's good. And I really like the characters. And it's always fun in an Obsidian game to find Matthew Mercer. You know? Is he there? He is. He is in Avowed. He plays in Pillars of Eternity 1 and 2. He plays 2 of your companions.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. He's not hard to find in those games.
There must be like SAG-AFTRA rules of like you can get them for this price as long as they don't do more than 3 characters or something like that. So like you got to do 2.
I am curious about how he was paid for doing 2 characters.
Yeah.
But I do think that they're also just friends, kind of like he likes the company or there's people there. So he sometimes I get the feeling that maybe they're just doing favors for their friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that they're not getting paid, but
yeah, he likes the world or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just a good working relationship.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, yeah, like you said, mine is much older than this.
Yes, I'm excited for yours.
2025. Oh, okay.
Because I never played it, and I always wanted to, and so tell me everything.
Well, okay, expectations versus reality. Okay, so so mine is Valkyrie Profile, which is a JRPG that came out, in the late PS1 era, like really almost at the point where the PS2 comes out. But it doesn't look like it at all because it looks a very much like sprites and things like that. It doesn't have a lot of 3D graphics going on or polygons or any of that kind of stuff. So it looks older than it is, honestly, but it has lots of weird mechanics. It really feels like several different games packed into one. But when I played it on the PSP originally on a little UMD disc, which was a re-release that happened, I don't even know how many years later, 8 or 9 years later. When I was dating my wife, she wasn't my wife. I don't know how to say that.
I understand what you're saying. Yes.
Yeah. She bought me a PSP because I was like, oh, this cool thing, but who could afford such a luxury? And she was like, here's a PSP. It was not like my birthday or Christmas. She was just wooing me, I guess. It worked.
Wooing you with video games. That's so great.
We used to play the PSP back and forth quite a bit. We both had games for it, and we would trade off. We had a joke about it that it ran on the juice of your eyeballs because when you get done with it, it felt like you couldn't see anything.
I've been there. Yeah.
Yeah. This was kind of before smartphones, so maybe it's just like a very normal experience now, but back then it was something new. But this game is kind of perfect for the PSP because the way that the dungeons and everything work, everything is like a kind of 10, 15, at the most 20-minute dive into whatever gameplay you're going to be doing, whether it's story or fighting or whatever, but you're going to be done with it in about 15 minutes. So it's just perfect for that. It was like a great pick for this system, I think, to port it. When they did port it, so this is like a Tri-Ace game that Square Enix was involved with publishing. Tri-Ace does stuff like Star Ocean and
yeah.
the Tales series and stuff, I think. So they make JRPGs, but they don't make the kind of turn-based Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy JRPGs. They make the more actiony JRPGs. But it's still like you're going to fight God and all that stuff.
Of course.
So the plot's the same. When they transferred this over, in the original PS1, I never played the PS1 game. It's hard to find in North America. It's very, very expensive. But apparently it has like all kinds of cutscenes in it, and those are like fully animated, like hand-drawn, cel-shaded animation. And then the PSP port is like CGI Final Fantasy looking polygonal cutscenes of the same stuff.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what else to call CGI. And then now you can get that on the PlayStation Network. For a long time, you couldn't get this game at all. There's an iOS or Android, like a mobile version of the game too. But I think in North America, that's locked behind Crunchyroll owns the rights to it. So you have to have a Crunchyroll subscription where you can play games.
Oh.
To play that game. It's weird.
But it's mobile? How do you even... Whatever.
I don't know. They, for whatever reason, they own the rights to that. But any version that's not the PS1 is going to be some version of the PSP, which does have on a technical level, there's a change in aspect ratio, right? From 4:3 to 16:9, because the
yes.
PSP is widescreen. So
yes.
they kind of stretched everything. And I play this now on my PS5, and I try to sit as far away from the TV as possible. It looks real chunky. But whatever, I'm not really playing it for the looks. But that said, I think the sprites are really, really beautiful. They do some amazing animation work with it. Just little stuff, like when your character is in a dungeon and you're going down the steps, the Valkyrie character has very, very long hair that's in these complicated braids, but it's still, even though it's all braided and put up and stuff, it goes down to her ankles. And that kind of almost operates as a cape that has kind of a counter motion to everything that she's doing.
Right.
So it has a bounce to it as she goes down the steps, or she whips around really fast and her hair goes out and then back down in ways that just give the whole thing a little bit of heft and realism for these kind of cartoon looking chunky sprite characters. But all the animation is just really, really good, from the monsters and the characters and all that stuff. So I think it looks good for, the era that it is, but it's definitely made for CRTs originally. They've just never updated that part of the experience.
It looks really pretty though, still.
It's great. I think it's,
very detailed little sprites or whatever.
For sure. Yeah, I can tell each character just by looking at who they are. And even the silhouettes are, I think, very oh, that's Valkyrie, oh, that's Arngrim, blah, 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 blah. I could tell the characters apart without seeing the details of them, which is, good design. So the premise of the game has to do with Norse mythology. You've got Odin in the game, the king of the gods, and he is, just like in the real Norse mythology, Ragnarok, the end of the world, is coming up. And that is a situation that Odin in particular knows he is not going to survive. And he's trying to figure out a way to cheat death, to cheat his fate. And in the mythology, that's why humans are created. We live, die, and suffer so that Odin can look down on our travails and find the most valiant, bravest, badass warriors, and then snatch those people at the moment of death and add them to his army, so that his army's full of badass berserkers who, at the moment, when Ragnarok happens, he'll have the best army possible and have the best chance of winning and not dying. That's the whole reason we exist as people in the religion. And the way that happens in the religion is the people who go down there and snatch the souls of the bravest, most badass guys are the Valkyrie. And that's what you're playing. And that's what you do in the game is, every character that you meet in the game, you meet them at the moment they die. And so that's whenever you meet a character, you're getting their last moments in life story. And so the game has very tragic tone to it. And so I'll tell you a little bit about the beginning of this game. I don't want to spoil the story, but there's a good way to understand kind of what's going on with the first story scene. So the beginning of this game has a very long story introduction to it. Like, you don't really play the battle mechanics for the first hour probably, and you don't even really meet your character. You meet the humans who are about to die, and so it's really focused in on this storytelling. So you meet this guy named Arngrim, who is like a mercenary, and he has to like deal with nobility type people, you know, for his job. So he's got to like deal with the king and other nobles because they're the ones who hire him to go fight the wars that they don't want to deal with. And then there's a noble princess girl who is spoiled and whiny and wants to rebel from her parents because she's that age and not for like any good reason. And she goes off, you know, like into the not because they have slaves and you know, like all the bad things that the king is up to, that she doesn't care about that. She thinks all that's good. She's just a spoiled brat and wants to cause a problem. So she goes off into the town and is causing a problem. And the king tells Arngrim, like, can you go get my daughter, please, and bring her back to the palace? And he like, you know, goes to she's dressed as like a peasant, but she's terrible at pretending to be a peasant. And she treats everybody, really, really bad. And Arngrim puts up with it. And basically what you get from the whole interaction is that Arngrim is a pretty good guy. Like, he's honorable, he's wry, and that this noble girl, this princess, is like a handful. She's really unlikable. She's mean. And they end up both dying before, you know, everything is done. Like, obviously, because that's what happens in the game. So they both die, and Valkyrie takes both of their souls, and this is like your first party, is these two people. And you also, so you can have 4 people in your party. The 4th person that you get is like Odin's wife, who is the main person that you're going to be talking to from Valhalla. And she's like, okay, listen, Ragnarok is coming in a certain amount of time. And so like, we're counting down. We know it's kicking off soon. And like, the war is already beginning to happen. So we need the very best soldiers, and you are going down to Midgard, to Earth, to get them. Okay. And so we need like particular type people. And from these 2 people that you have gathered here, this girl is acceptable and good to us, and this guy sucks, and we would never accept him, which is like the exact opposite of what you would expect.
Yeah.
Because the guy's like a badass. He has this huge sword. He's this noble, honorable fighter. He's like real gritty and commoner. He's like kicks back with the beers and stuff, you know. And the other character's like bitchy and sucks. But that's like a storytelling clue to you about the world, because he doesn't care about royalty and rank and things like that.
Yes.
And she does. She cares about like how the world should be, and like people should obey the king. They should obey princesses. Odin is into that. That's kind of like what they're teaching you here. Because
Odin also wants to be obeyed.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah,
like that's the kind of people he needs. He doesn't need rebellious people in his army. There's chapters. I can't remember how they split it up exactly, if it's chapters or whatever they call it, but there's like 8 chapters to the game. And at the end of each chapter, you need to send people that you have gotten in that chapter, or it doesn't have to be that chapter, but you have to send people to Valhalla. They're going to leave your group permanently. So the whole game is about you recruit these characters, you get to know them, you know their story, like their history, how they died. You get to know them, you develop them, you like level them up, but you're also like developing their, like, it's not just mechanical, like making them stronger or upping their magic. There's things like you can put points into their honesty or into their, they have like negative traits too. So like drunkenness or whatever, or like party animal trait, or, you know, things like that. There's weird stats in this game. I should have pulled up some examples of it because some of them are funny. But like you choose what you're going to up. And Odin's wife, Freya, tells you, like at the beginning of each chapter, she's like, we need somebody. So there's different jobs, right? Archer, mage, warrior, whatever. She's like, we need an archer who is able to swim and is really good at sneaking, but isn't too honest. And so you want to like build somebody to those specifications, if that makes sense, and send them. And then when you send them, you're going to get like a report card back and be like, you did a good job or you did a shitty job of sending us what we asked for. And then you'll get like a coda on those people, or like each chapter you'll get codas about all the people that you've been sending. So you can check back up on like, how is this person doing? How is that person doing? And sometimes like if you send them, like if they say like, send us somebody who can swim, and you send a person and one of their stats is like, they can't swim, then like that person died because they were like, you know, in a battle where they had to swim. And so things can go bad for them, and that will affect the war and like how the war is going and stuff like that. Cause that's like a thing that's happening in the background. So there's like a meter of like which side is winning the war, Odin's side or the other god's side. So there's like, you know, Loki's side or Odin's side, who's winning. So yeah, that's kind of how the recruiting works, and like sending people, which is really pretty unique. At least I'd never played anything like that where the whole point of the game is to get rid of characters. You know what I mean? Like you level these people up and you're like, yeah, I got a good party. Like we got a good thing going on here. And then you're like, I gotta send some of you away. And, if you don't send people away, or you keep sending the wrong people away, it will trigger, there's 3 endings in the game, and it will trigger the bad ending where Freya comes down, or like Odin comes down actually, and he yells at you, and he's like, you know, shape up. You have one job and you are fucking up my war. Stop it. And then if you keep doing it, then Freya comes down and she's like, you have crossed the boundary too many times. You are disobedient. And then she like annihilates you and kills all your followers. They're called Einherjar, the spirits of the warriors. She kills all of them, and it's like game over. You can't come back from it. You have to start a new game.
I mean, being killed by Freya sounds like a good time.
It's an interesting ending. I did trigger that ending accidentally the first time that I played.
That must have been that must be weird.
Yeah,
if you don't know what can happen.
I didn't understand the mechanics because it was like it kept asking me to do things that seemed, because I played JRPGs, like,
yep,
I want this good item, and you get a good item, and it's like, do you want to offer this item to Odin for use in the war, or do you want to keep it? And I was like, I want to keep it. It's good. And then, you know, they're like, oh, do you want to keep this really good character, or do you want to send them to Valhalla? And I was like, no, send this shitty character who I didn't put any XP into and doesn't have any good armor. And then, you know, they go off and they die. And then the game was like, you're not playing the game right. And it killed me. So then I was like, okay, wait, I don't understand what's happening. And I had to like figure out what I'm supposed to be doing. So the other thing about the game, each chapter, right, there's 8 chapters, but each chapter you have And I don't know, maybe the only thing I can think of this like this is that we played recently was Blueprints,
Right.
where when you were in the house, every room that you went into cost you quote unquote steps.
Yes.
And yeah, you have a certain number of steps. So you have a certain number of actions each chapter. It's like 20 something. And then anything that you do costs you those action points. So if you go recruit a character, that'll cost you a point. If you go into a dungeon, that costs you 2 points. You do this like prayer thing. It will either like trigger a new dungeon that's not on the map at that point, or it will tell you where someone is in the world for you to recruit. So you'll like hear their dying moments, and then you go to the town and you see their story. And usually when you recruit somebody, you'll see their dying story, whatever, and then they'll join up. And then you want to go back to wherever they died, or like their house or something like that. And then there will be like some kind of thing for them. It's like a loyalty mission in Mass Effect or something. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
You get like a good thing for finishing their business or something like that. But it further like makes you care about the character, I guess. And all of these characters kind of fall into those two camps, like I said before, where you'll have like the people who care about the hierarchy of nobility and following orders but are kind of shitty people, and then these like usually they're poor people or peasants who are cooler but
right, yeah.
But Valhalla is not as interested in those people, or they're much harder to send up there successfully. A lot of times they'll just refuse certain people. Like that first guy you get, they never will accept him ever.
Oh, interesting.
So that, yeah, it's part of the story. So, but anyway, the point being that everything that you do costs you these action points, and once you run out of them, the chapter is over and the story will advance, whether you sent people or not, or like got your business done, or did anything. You can, I guess you could putter around. You could go to like every location on the map and just go in there and see, but a lot of times there's not a good reason to go different places. You have plenty of time if you don't waste it, if that makes sense. And most chapters you can just like say I'm done and you have points left over still. But the effect that has is that like a total playthrough doesn't last very long. So the whole game will take you like maybe 25, 30 hours at the most. Just because it's forcing you, to move through.
I get it. Just sounds like there's so much more going on than 25 hours, but interesting. That's fun.
The fighting mechanics are pretty unique in this too. So this is maybe the most unique thing, and it's probably weird that I took this long to talk about it. So it looks like a typical JRPG screen where you've got like the heroes on one side and the enemies on the other side, except that your characters are arranged in a kind of diamond formation if you have 4 of them, and those correspond to the 4 buttons on the PlayStation controller.
Right.
And each one of the characters is tied to that button. So what happens is like it's turn based, so the monsters have a turn and then you have a turn. When it's your turn, you push the button of the character that you want to attack, and then that character like launches across the screen, or I guess it depends on what they do, like they shoot an arrow or a spell or whatever, but they'll cross over to the enemy and then they will attack, and the attacks, each person can have 3 different attacks tied to them. And so if it's the first attack will be if you pick them first, but if you pick them second, they'll do their second attack. If you pick them third, they'll do their third attack. And each of them is mechanically different. So you might have an attack, for example, that like hits the enemy up into the air, or that does a backstab, or that slams them down, or where the hero jumps into the air and lands on the enemy. And all of these will have different effects, because like some of the enemies, like say the enemy has a shield and you want to like backstab that guy to break his stance so that you can send in another character. If you send in a character that goes toe to toe with them, you'll just bounce off the shield and not be able to do damage. So you have to like break their stance. And you time these things almost like a fighting game. Like you have one guy knock him up in the air, and then the next guy knocks him into the ground, and then the other one rains down arrows. And it literally has like a combo meter that's filling up with how many times you've hit them in this round. And you can keep hitting that same enemy over and over, or you can just not push any buttons and it's still your turn because, you know, other people haven't gone yet. And you can pick a different enemy and then go do it to them. And once you level the characters up, you can get it to where each of your 4 people has like 3 turns in one turn, if that makes sense. Like you can do 3 attacks
right
each turn, so you can get the combo meter up to like 99 at that point. Really high. There's another meter that's building up while you're doing this, so every time you get a positive hit, you have like a little meter that's building up, kind of like a limit break in Final Fantasy. Yeah, and when this fills up, then you get like a I can't remember what I said. It's like exercise the weird soul is what it says. and so you're like banishing the evil, and you do these just like crazy attacks that are like limit breaks, but they take like 30 or 40 seconds or a minute to like pop off the whole animation, and they're like way over the top. And so you know, you could get it to where all 4 of your people have that meter filled up, and then you like toss off on a boss or something like that, for like huge amounts of damage.
So very like a limit break.
Yeah. And you want to like, you want to get the combo meter up there, because that like multiplies how much damage. Like the whatever the combo meter is at, if it's at 99, then it's whatever your base damage is times 99. So it's like insane amounts of damage and stuff. But I guess this just makes the combat more dynamic, and it's a lot of fun. Like
for an older game, that does sound very dynamic, as you said.
Yeah, it's different. It's engaging. Yeah, it's really different. I'd never played anything like that. When I had it on the PSP, I was like, oh, this is fucking cool. And since then, other people have tried to do it, but nobody's really done it quite as well. Probably the biggest game that I can think of that I've played that's like this is called Indivisible, which is like a direct spiritual sequel to this game. That's kind of with South Asian aesthetics instead of Norse aesthetics. And it's like literally the same thing. She has like the main character has like all of the spirits of the character inside her soul, and when you go into combat, she like lets them out the same way that the Valkyrie does in Valkyrie Profile. And it's the same mechanic, like you hit the buttons and they cross the screen and do stuff.
In my brief Googling just now, it seems to be that there's a Valkyrie Profile 2. Have you played that? Is it any good?
So there's Valkyrie Profile 2, and then there's also a TRPG Valkyrie Profile game, so like a tactics game. And then there is one that just came out for the PS5 not too long ago. I want to say like last year, maybe 2 years ago. Which is like a more third-person Devil May Cry style of a game, instead of like a JRPG kind of game. I have not played Valkyrie Profile 2. It's on the PS2. people love that game.
Oh, okay.
It's not exactly the same mechanics, but it's similar.
I mean, that's what you want from a sequel. You don't want it to be exactly the same.
Yeah, you want it to iterate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which it seems like it did. That game is a prequel, kind of, because you can't, like I said, there's 3 endings to the story, and they don't want to make a canon ending.
Right. Yes, that makes sense.
So it's hard to do a sequel. Something that you find out in the midst of the story is that there are 3 Valkyries in the world, but all 3 of them share one human body. Whoever the human woman is like picked by the gods, by Odin, and then they kind of like cram the 3 Valkyrie souls in there, and only one of them can be active at a time. And so in the sequel, you don't play the same Valkyrie as in Valkyrie Profile. So in Valkyrie Profile, you play the Valkyrie Lenneth. I don't think any of these are like from actual Norse mythology. It's just made up for the game.
Right.
And then there's in the sequel, it's her name is Silmeria, so she has a completely different personality and stuff like that. And then there's another Valkyrie named Hrist, who is like the evil one, like the Darth Vader one. You find this out in the game, like via the story. You do interact with the other 2 Valkyries a little bit. There's like some time travel shenanigans that happens at one point, and you like run into the other Valkyries, and they're like, wow, you're the dumb one, is basically what they tell you. You're the one who never has a clue what's really going on, because the game is trying to tell you, it's trying to tell you exactly that, right? Like, I played the game in a selfish gamer way at first, and the game was like, no, wrong. You're not, that's not how you do this. Okay. And it's kind of like what you were saying with Avowed, like you dance around in the fire with your pants off and nobody pays attention to you, right? Like we're not doing that. Stop it.
Right.
We're not going to acknowledge you doing that. And then it's also telling you, like, you're not paying attention, you're easily fooled. You should like take that into account, that's kind of the personality of the character that you have, because she's very earnest in trying to do whatever Freya tells her to, and like send these people up and succeed. If you keep doing what Freya says, then, which is what I did I guess second time that I played it. I think I washed out in less than 10 hours the first time. So the second time it was like around 20 something hours, and yeah, I sent all the people. I had, it's like at the end of every chapter, she'll give you like your little report card. It's so funny.
Lenneth, about your performance. It is magnificent.
Like, she just sounds so happy at whatever you're doing.
That'd be so stressful. I don't like that.
Yeah, it's weird. It's very almost off-putting the way that she says magnificent.
Well, I don't like being judged.
Oh, she definitely is judging you. Yeah.
I'm not about that life. I'm about, please leave me alone to do my own thing.
When I wasn't doing a good job, she never said magnificent. She was like, you could do a better job. If you do magnificent every time, which is not that hard to do, you just have to send up, the right people, and then, well, really that's all you have to do. But I was above and beyond. I was sending up good items and stuff like that too. Then you like the days count down. Like every time you're spending these points, each chapter, it says the number of days until Ragnarok, and the days get lower and lower and lower, and then it's 0. And it says like Ragnarok starting, and like the screen changes and stuff, and you leave Earth and you go to to Valhalla, and you have like all of your people that you sent are there, and you got your people that you brought with you that you've had the longest and everything, and you all join the battle together and you fight the god of fire, and you know, have a big JRPG boss battle and you beat him and it's like, good job, you beat the game.
Look, if I get to the end of a JRPG and I don't kill God, I'm upset.
Well, you don't kill God. You just fight like a fire monster, and it just kind of
not a god even.
No, not really. It's like,
I don't know how I feel about this one, Ellen.
Well, that's how I felt. I was like, oh, and it just kind of pats you on the back a little bit. It's like, good job. You want to do it again? It really like leaves you unsatisfied in a way, and it feels like it felt like there's all these dangling threads too. Like there's hinting at all these things, and I was like, I didn't do it right. I fucked up. I don't know what I did, but I fucked up. So right. I looked this up. I was like, what am I doing? And apparently there was like this whole other thing that if I had been paying attention to, like, why do they want some people and not want others? Why are they telling me that I'm the gullible one? Why are they like, there's another character that you meet who's like he's like a bad guy, but he's like the greatest wizard in the world. He's like Saruman or something like that, right? Except he's obsessed with you because he's like a JRPG like anime creep who right. He's like kidnapped an elf and like did plastic surgery on her to make her look like you and wants to like put your soul into her so that you could be a couple, like this kind of guy. And there's like a whole
thing. So there is
with
romance in the game.
Yeah. There actually is romance. Not that guy.
Right. Okay.
I wanted to talk about this because I actually think it's important that there is one character. So when you start the game too, there's like this whole thing of like this peasant girl and this peasant boy run away from this town. This is like the first thing that happens in the game. And it just feels like, what? Like, why did this happen? They run away from this town. And the boy like tells the girl, we had to run away. I heard your parents, they're going to sell you into slavery in the morning to cover their debts. Like, we have to escape. And he's like, oh, by the way, I love you and I've always loved you. And we can, start a life together and I'll protect you.
What a time to say, like, either fall in love with me or be sold into slavery. Your choice.
It's not really your moment, my dude.
Yeah.
It's not good. And she has this like bad feeling in her heart. She has like this.
Me too.
And what she does is like lay down in this field of lilies that are like poisonous, and she dies.
Okay.
And then
that seems extreme, but sure.
Yeah, you're like, this is weird. And then it goes into that story about the mercenary and the princess. And I was like, okay, well, that has nothing to do with anything. And every once in a while, you can like go to that field of lilies and you're like, oh yeah, that weird prologue. But Valkyrie, when she's there, she acts weird. And she'll like pick a flower, she'll like walk around, or there's like a tombstone there and she'll linger by it. And then later you can recruit the boy from the prologue. He dies and he becomes part of your party, and he really sucks. Like, he's not good mechanically. Like, he's not good at anything. Her dying like broke his spirit. He never recovered from it, but he has like a strong reaction to Valkyrie. And the whole thing that it's not too hard to put it together that
I get that she is the girl.
She is the girl. Her body is what they stuffed the Valkyries into, and they made her feel suicidal in that moment so that they could take over her body.
Oh, so it was extreme. Interesting.
You send him to Valhalla because like he's pretty useless mechanically, but he's kind of exactly what they're asking for in that chapter when you get him. And when you send him, he takes you back to that field of lilies, and he's like, he like takes your helmet off and he's like, let me tell you a story. And like, you find out what that whole prologue's about. And then you get a choice of like, do you want to kiss him or fall in love or whatever, or not, or you just be like, go away. Either way, he goes away, but you can be like, oh my God, I didn't realize it was you. And I love you. And you can make this choice for her to fall in love. And she's like a pretty cold fish a lot of times. Like she reminds me of Lightning from Final Fantasy. She's like real,
Yep.
yeah, but badass, you know, she's a badass girl, but she does
I don't
have
think
this.
Lightning was a cold fish. She just cared about her sister more than. I've only played the first one, so
Yeah.
maybe in later games.
No, compared to like some of the other women in that game, she's like, people are like, well, I want to be friends with you, Lightning, and she's like, fuck off. I have goals, okay?
Yeah, that's fair.
And she's kind of like that. Because she has to be. She's sending these people to Valhalla. She can't get attached, you know? But anyway, yeah, you can choose to fall in love with him. And that whole thing is the keystone to the, like, quote unquote, kind of real ending, the third ending that really, like, unlocks everything. I don't want to, like, give it away because I think it's really, really good. But there's all these characters, right, who are, like, the rejects, if you will, who are, like, the ones that are actually, like, the best ones to have in your party. And so they're the ones that you kind of form a bond with because you never send them up and you're always using them in your group, and like you get little scenes with them every once in a while. And so you just get to know their personalities more. And for you to, I don't know how somebody could get the third ending without like following a guide or something, because it's kind of convoluted. I guess you could fuck around with the game enough and figure it out, because it does, like I said, it doesn't take long to beat. So you could kind of like experiment and iterate, especially if you're like doing multiple saves and like trying different outcomes. But in any event, you can trigger this thing where Freya comes down and kills you, like in the bad ending, but the game doesn't end. Because like those characters who are rebellious and don't follow the rules and who are her friends and that she cares about, plus the guy that she's like in love with or who loves her and is up, you know, in Valhalla, all conspire to be like, we're going to bring her back. And like, then you go fight God.
Okay.
And it's pretty fucking cool. Yeah. It's pretty cool. How all that stuff plays out, and that the game was always kind of telling you the gods are the bad guys, and you just had to figure out, you really have to figure out mechanically how to make that happen. I don't know, it's like a big puzzle, almost like it's a puzzle that's like the size of the game, and it's a really neat thing. I think that they built the game in a way to make it unsatisfying to beat it the normal way. Like you just play it like a normal video game. There's a point at like one part in the late game where like you confront Odin and you're like, how could you treat people like this? Like these people have lives and feelings, and you know, like you made me commit suicide when someone confessed their love to me. And he's like, who cares? Like you're all just, you're pieces in my war. You're just stuff to me. You're not people. Like you're just, there's something about that in the way that when I played it the first time and I lost, that's how I was treating all the characters. I was like, I want to keep the good stuff. I want to keep the good characters. You know what I mean? Like I didn't, because they're good in the battle. And I was being very Odin-like, I guess is what I'm saying. And the game punished me for that.
That's interesting.
And then, yeah, when you invest in the relationships with the people, that's when the game rewards you. You see what I'm saying? Like you invest in, I will fall in love. I will make friends. I will care about the people who are with me and that I'm sending to heaven or whatever into this war. And I will care about the people that are on Earth who are suffering because of this war. And we're going to put a stop to all of it. Once you start caring about that stuff and not treating people like a mechanical thing, and that's like built into the game in a way that's like, that's pretty fucking cool that they mechanically built in that story feeling into the game.
It's almost kind of like the tutorial is lying to you.
Mm-hmm.
Which is an interesting dynamic that I think more games should experiment with.
It's mind bending. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty weird. It's an interesting game. I think last time you were saying like, I wish there was like a game where if you didn't do, like if you just fucked around, then like things would happen whether you do it or don't.
Not just fucked around. I just like the idea that if running straight to the end of a dungeon or a level or whatever would be rewarding in one way as opposed to finding all the treasure. Like, I don't know. I just feel like it would be an interesting dynamic where playing a game the way everyone traditionally plays the game has consequences.
This game kind of has that. Like you can start a chapter and then just end it immediately. And the stuff that happens in that chapter will still happen, but you didn't have an effect on it. And it's like those
weird.
People, yeah, those people died and you didn't get their souls or whatever. And so it does have something like that in it. You can't do that too much because you'll like trigger the bad ending. But I don't know. It's doing all kinds of interesting things with consequence and choice, especially for like how old it is.
Yeah. But no, that's interesting. The most fun part about this for me is that when I had a completely different idea in my head about what this game was, I thought it was something like there's a different game out there called something different that I don't remember, and I thought that game was this game. So when he started talking about the battle and stuff, I was like, oh no, I'm wrong.
Is it like Valkyria
somewhere.
Chronicles or something like that you were thinking of? I feel like there's so many things that have Valkyrie in the name. You'd be like,
no, I don't think it was the name. I think the cover was maybe kind of similar or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, the game is very different. It's all voice acted too, which at the time was like, this is PS1 at the end of the PS1. So you're talking like Final Fantasy 9, same era as that, and it was fully voice acted. And actually the voice acting, it's kind of funny, it might bother you, but the entire cast is the Pokemon cast for the English voices,
like the anime Pokemon. Or
yeah.
Oh,
Ash Ketchum is one of the, and every once in a while you hear somebody be like, is that Team Rocket?
Okay, I figured out what game I thought it was. And I guess they both start with V, and there's maybe kind of I thought it was Vagrant Story.
Oh, yeah. I've
that's
definitely played Vagrant Story.
Yeah.
That's a totally different.
Yep. And I knew like the simple basics of that game. Like I knew what type of game it was. So as soon as you started talking about this one, I was like,
I don't think Odin's in that game.
Yeah, I'm wrong about something here.
Yeah, that game's great. That game takes place in the same world as Tactics, Final Fantasy Tactics.
Oh, that makes sense.
It's literally the same world.
Evilise or whatever.
Yep. So I don't know if I gave too much away. I think that game is worth playing. It's pretty accessible these days.
On PlayStation? Yeah,
being on PSN and on phones, I guess. You don't have to pay hundreds of dollars for the original PlayStation disc, is what I'm saying.
So anybody listening, you should let us know what your underappreciated, underrated, but still favorite games are. And you can do that by reaching out on Blue Sky at Inferior Gaming. Or you can follow me personally on Blue Sky at Inferior Caitlin.
You can send those recommendations to inferiorgamingpod at gmail.com. Or you can fill out the contact page at hologrammedia.com.
And remember that just because a game starts with V, they're not all the same. They are not all the same. Different games.